All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going on a bit of a cybersecurity hunt. We're tracking a threat that's, well, it's silent, it's sneaky, and it gets to work the very moment you log into your Linux system. We are unmasking malicious Autostart scripts. So let me just ask you this. Is your computer secretly working against you? I mean, think about it. The second you log in, all these different programs and scripts start running in the background. Now, most of them are totally fine, helpful even. But what if one of them wasn't? Okay, so what are we even talking about here? At their core, these auto-start scripts are kind of the unsung heroes of convenience, right? They're the things that automatically launch your favorite apps or set up your work environment, all without you having to lift a finger. Super useful for automation, but as we're about to see, this convenience can be a real double-edged sword. To find any kind of hidden threats, you first need to know the lay of the land. For us, that means understanding the two main places these auto-start scripts tend to hide out. You can think of this as the scene of our crime. So let's break this down. On one side, you have your system-wide scripts. These are the heavy lifters. They kick off before anyone even logs in to get essential services running. But on the other side, you have user-specific scripts. And these are tucked away in a user's personal home directory. They only run when that specific user logs in, which, as you can imagine, makes them a prime target for malware. All right, the investigation is officially on. We're going to zero in on those user-specific directories because, let's be honest, this is the most likely place an attacker would plant a backdoor, hoping it just gets lost in all the other noise and goes completely unnoticed. Every good investigator needs their tools. In our case, it's not some fancy software. It's a simple command. Think of it like our digital magnifying glass. With this one command, we can sweep the entire system for these startup files and get a bird's eye view of everything that's set to run automatically. And bingo, we run our command and we find something. Most of the files look pretty normal, but then there's this one, keygrabber.desktop. I mean, that name alone just screams trouble, right? It doesn't sound like a standard application at all. This is our first major clue. This is the thread we need to start pulling. So, we've found our suspicious file. Now it's time to put this thing under the microscope. We're officially opening the case file on this key grabber to figure out what it's really up to. And would you look at this? This is just classic deception. The attacker names the file standard desktop configuration and then adds that little do not modify, a brilliant piece of social engineering to make you just ignore it. But the real poison, the real damage, it's all hiding in that exec line. That's the command that's actually going to run. So how does this one little line of code cause so much trouble? Well, let's break it down. First, curl reaches out and starts a connection to the attacker's server. Second, it grabs the data it wants to send, and in this case, it's grabbing the user's private SSH key. We're talking about the absolute crown jewels of an account. And finally, it just sends that stolen key right over to the attacker. Just like that, it's game over. Now, a good investigator knows that a culprit rarely leaves just one piece of evidence. This key grabber, it might not be the only trick the attacker has up their sleeve. So to be thorough, we really need to widen our search for other places they might be hiding. Just like you see here, attackers have all sorts of clever hiding spots. They can plant malicious commands in all kinds of trusted locations. I mean, think about it. Your .profile script that runs every time you open a terminal. Or even the message of the day. You know, that welcome banner you see when you log in? Yeah, even that could be hijacked to trigger a backdoor. Okay, so after this deep dive into the dark corners of our system, what's the big lesson here? How do we actually defend ourselves against this kind of silent threat? Let's get to the final and probably most important takeaway. And here it is. The most sophisticated attacks, they often aren't about some brand new complex exploit. It's about hiding in plain sight. It's about using the normal, trusted parts of your own system against you. And that means your absolute best defense isn't some fancy tool. It's knowledge. Simply knowing where to look, that's everything. And that really leaves us with one final crucial question to think about. We've looked at auto-start scripts and login files today, but what other trusted parts of your system could be turned against you? Keeping that question in the back of your mind, well, that's the first step to staying secure.